Good morning or afternoon, Captain Dane. What's going on with you? Well, I haven't done a YouTube. I've been going to Facebook platform, and I haven't been doing it for my YouTube. I think my YouTube is where I'm supposed to put up all my work of talking. Um, I've been contesting myself a lot through a lot of my own personal things, and I just wanted to catch up with myself on the YouTube platform. And just speak positive, you know. So in this battle of uh, of oneself, man, I'm getting over. Like I'm a person that is very aware of a lot of things that's going on in this world, whether it's good, bad, or a personal perspective of what I need to do and carry on myself. Being real is tough in this world. It's very tough to be real in this world today. For the fact that no one wants to live in that reality. Everyone wants the material, the money, the internet. It's just the tangible things as a human. And I'm a very spiritual. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. So I'm very in touch with my spiritual side, and I live life today with that understanding um, and that philosophy of life. And when I started doing that, you know, I still do things within my breath, and that's the person you're looking at. I can test myself like with drugs and stuff like that. I had a problem my whole life, and it was all. And when I say problem, it was a personal thing. I never went out to do anything to hurt anyone. I always work. I don't steal. I don't rob. You know. But today it's just one of those things where it's come full circle, and I make sense of everything in my life. I was like, why was I put here on earth to have a problem like that? Because it hurt, it damaged me. But I'm a very strong will, and I use my life as a. I don't think of good or bad about my life. I take the experience and I make it make sense for me. Like for instance, with the drug epidemic around here in America and the world, I can see why I was put in it into the situations I was in, so that I can analogize it and feel for the people of the world, what they're going through, and how it numbs up an individual. I'm a very self confident, very I believe in myself, and you know the awareness that I have. It's more clear than most people, and the awakening for me is a lot earlier than others. And it's a very scary moment when you're doing this alone. And you know there are a lot of people that are woken today, but they know how to find like-minded people, and 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 you don't feel alone once you do that. For me, the way I'm so unique and I'm so different that I'm not compatible with anyone. I'm not compatible with anyone awakening right now, and I'm telling you, it's very lonely. It's very lonely, um, but I'm okay with it. At the same time, my Buddha understanding helps me out a lot. It keeps me continue to work on myself. Within the Buddha understanding, it's very important for me to explain to the people of the world. It's how what you do with the information can help you through your life is still relevant from Buddha days, 2,600 years ago when he was alive, and leaving his message up to date in 2019 December the 3rd, 2019. And it's still relevant for all of our attitudes and perception and how we um, delegate our life every day. It's the temper that one has. You know how some people got a very hot temper, and then some people that's the sun that Buddha say. like hot temper, like get mad real easy or just frustrated. That's a terrible attitude that we have to visualize within oneself. These are some of the things that Buddha tells us, but it takes for a personal quest for an individual. Like for me, it's the greediness. So there's three things that Buddha tells us to be careful and watch out in yourself. And the first one would be the greediness, or taking something that's not yours. Okay, that would be greediness. And then the second one is si. Si, and I'm speaking in Vietnamese and I'm translating. Si would means how you would instigate for other people to get mad at you. See, I do that today very good by getting people mad at me, is because I want them to snap out of these situations so that they wake up to a different reality. So I do like to I push a lot of buttons today, for especially with family members and stuff, because I know how to push button really well, and I do it intentionally. So it's different from a person that does it without the conscience and awareness of when you're pushing people's button. And what you do with that, you make another person lose their framework, and they start lashing out at you and getting mad and stuff. And these are things that you cannot control, folks. It just, everyone has it different. But in the Buddha teaching, it explains how a person comes about that, how you create that for yourself. Because in Buddhism, it teaches us all that we come back through reincarnation. And for me, when I speak about Buddha, it's not a religion to me. It's just a path of a man that was here on earth, and he left back information for those that are interested to find nirvana. And if you, for me, I don't read, write, or spell. So what my knowledge is it comes from many lives of practicing Buddhism. And I'm not saying that I'm the only one. There are many others, but I'm very unique how I approach life and how I look at life in a different perspective than a lot of people. A lot of people, when they go into the Buddha direction, or even any kind of religion, it's like they lose their perspective of reality, and they're living into the story. Life is not about a story of anyone but yourself. And if there's anyone that had wrote anything about anything, it's about, that's how that person or that individual perceived of life when they were here on earth. And a lot of us today, whether it's in the Bible or any kind of religion, they go off of a base of a story, or a book with no dates, no time, no nothing, just Johns and Revelations and all of that. It has no date, no time, nothing in a book of a diary of a man's life. And those are some of the things today that I take into considerations when I'm talking about this religion thing, because my thing is I want to bridge all gap for the people to see what makes sense, because I want the people of the world that is interest to protect their spirit in a very correct way, and not get misguided by the literatures of a storyline that's been altered and fixed 1,000 times. For the fact that we have to understand that there was, like for the instance of the Bible, we have to understand that there was someone that hung Jesus Christ onto the cross. They didn't have to go out with, they didn't hang themselves with Jesus Christ. They're still alive back then. What makes us all think that they're not alive now? And what was wrong with the Old Testament? Why did we have to have a New Testament? And who wrote the New Testament? Wouldn't it be, for me, it's one of those things that it makes sense for the people that hung Jesus Christ along the cross. It makes sense for me for those people to put these words and these somatic things into the Bible to trick the children of God. It makes so much sense. I'm not saying the Bible is not correct, but I'm saying if you look at it in that perspective, you can protect yourself and use your intelligence as you're reading the Bible to cross-examine a lot of those things in there instead of trying to make sense of everything in the Bible. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave it right there. And my thing is the Buddha understanding. You know, I don't call it a religion because I look at it as a teaching, and the teaching of Buddha is very clear to me, and it makes the most sense. And I go back and forth from the Bible and then my understanding of Buddhism. And I don't read, write, or spell. Therefore, I'm using my own cognition and my intelligence to the of what I hear of others, and then I use my intelligence to rationalize it out on both aspects. It's because when something's good, like when with me in my knowledge today, when I look at religion, it's been so washed down, and the people in religion, they're all tricked, and then this goes with all religion. And my thing is, I want to help those that are going to be awoken to this, because it's devastating when you believe in something of a religion, and you're all in, and you wake up to there's a scam in it. It's devastating to one's emotions, one's mind, and one's belief. Therefore, it's a very touchy issue. But if there's no one that confronts it the way I do, for those that really is going in that path, is because the fact for me is these people are really good people that wants a spiritual guidance. And when they go into these situations today, what they have is a misguiding, and you know the difference from a person that's looking for guidance and a person that's using their mind to guide them is they don't use their intelligence anymore, or their common sense, or even their facts. You know, they're just going off of what they learned their whole life, and they're not willing to be open minded, and they go on to, and you know, and those are some of the things that to me is very, it sucks for those that's doing that. So what I do today is I speak, and I want anyone that ever crossed my videos to kind of like cross-examine what I'm saying, if you're intelligent enough to do it using your own mind. But for me, it's clear, the Buddha understanding is very clear, and I still can test myself on a level of not following all of Buddha's words, but I do get it, and I am working on myself every day. And I'm on this thing called the enemy. You know, the enemy within me, and it's one of those it's one of those things that every day that I get awoken, since the awoken has been happening to me every day, and then year after year as I go. My awokening started around 2013, and so every year it comes, and every day that I wake up, it's a different awareness, and I get more aware. You know, and getting aware doesn't mean you stop getting aware. You know, every day that you wake up, you get aware more. You're awoken more to life. You're not getting tricked. You're not getting brainwashed. You're not getting duped to not knowing. You know, there's a lot of things in this world that we think we know, but we don't know. And when I had that awakening, it was very scary, because I started just I was, as I was growing up, I'm a very free heart and loving, and I'm careless, and I just all over. You know, I make people happy and laugh when they're around my vibration. But I wasn't focused into my spiritual the way I am today, and the enlightenment that I have gotten, and the maturity that I have grown into. So it's very. And today I have went to almost like a solitary situation for myself in my life, meaning like a relationship of 20 years with my wife. I haven't been with her for almost a year. I haven't been with another woman since then. I've just been soul searching, or like soul searching for myself, and then finding informations for myself. And it's been a very lonely ride. And but I'm keeping up with myself, because at the end of the day, lonely or not, I'm going to have to accept it. When the day I die, I don't die with everyone else. I die alone. And I'm going to have to deal with my spirit, and everything that I do as a human, I will have to confront when I'm on my spiritual venture after this breath. And those are some of the things that I want to share with people, is because those are some of my enlightened moments in my life today, that whether it's material or things of life. I love to have materials. I like the nice things, but I'm not attached to nothing in this world, because um, when I lose my breath and I die, I don't get to bring nothing but the karma that I created within my breath, and that's very important subject that I want to help those that are getting a spiritual awakening, because most people don't realize, all the fame and all anything you create within your breath as a human, the only thing you get to bring with you into your spiritual world is your karma, and how you live life, and how you treat others, and that's what you get to bring with you. And so if more of us pay attention to how we live life and how we treat others, um, you have an incentive. And for me, I'm very, like, I believe in that a lot. It makes the most sense to me. And if you sat down and you think about that and analogize and let your mind be an open mind, and if you feel like I feel, a spiritual being having a human experience, then you'll make sense of this. But if you think you're just a human and you don't have a spiritual after this, or a life or whatever, I'm not here. And babbling is a word of Babylonian vocabularies, is, I speak like all of us, but for me, when I talk about spiritual stuff, it's an inner thing. It's an enemy thing. Inner me, the enemy within me. And those are some of the things that I'm starting to learn, and I want to share with the people of the world, is the enemies within me, and it's within all of us. And the enemy comes in all shapes, and I wouldn't say shapes, but all kinds of thoughts. It has the shady one, it has the good looking one, it has the intelligent one, it has the ignorant one, it has the stingy one, it has the devious one, it has the loving one, it